There'll be 2 bills here in a minute for fuel. Alright, so here's a before look of this front gate area. You could see it's very low, it's very wet. For whatever reason, where this gate was installed, they never backfilled this area, so it just stays wet and sloppy. So we're going to start by bringing in a bunch of fill. We got to bring this up probably 18 inches or so, maybe even more at the very wet spot there. Just getting ready for a culvert install. And so my first attempt at this pipe, I didn't want to go very deep. I wanted to keep it with the current depth of the current ditch. So that's going to be our first install, if you will. So this is going to take a couple of segments, but we got a lot of dirt to bring in. So I just scraped it down deep enough to get it even with the current ditch. So let's start with this and see how this is going to go. Alright, here's the after look for today, April 4th. I had to dig that borrow pit, and Phil works some magic here with the skid steer. We're trying to build up this road a little more. Looks like we got to do a little more because there's a water cut that runs down the edge of this. Obviously you could see the low spot with some water standing. This stuff should start drying out. Big success today with all 3 machines. And then I'm going to get some stone here for the driveway after this dries, and we can put a normal grade on it. But big progress today. Wow, we got a lot of rain. Geez, here's the borrow pit for this driveway fix up. This is not nearly done. We just had time to kill in between here, so we started working on this. So we're gonna get back to the machines. I ended up renting that big one for another week. So here's a better look here. So this is the best way to get your water erosion and runoff better. Not always right, because sometimes you can't get it right, because we were eyeballing this. So we want all the water to come down this side of the driveway and into that pipe. So that pipe's a little too high, so I'm going to go ahead and lower that. I didn't realize this ditch was that shallow. Most of them are much deeper. So we got one spot here to fill in. But otherwise it's doing what we want it to. It's coming down that channel. We got to cut it right through that gap or right under the fence. And then right here to the culvert. I mean, this is all, you could drive on this now, this clay. So a little more dirt right here and we'll have this in pretty good order. It'll stay dry after that. All right, I found an old concrete pipe down there. Okay, so we found this old concrete culvert pipe, so I'm going to try to clear the end of it, and we're going to see if we can break through and see if it's not totally clogged with clay, because maybe we can reuse it. But the problem is it's another 14 inches below the surface right now, so we'd have to dig basically a big ditch if we can get the old pipe reopened. So let's see how it goes. But we can break through, then it'll work. We found an old one that's buried. We'll see what happens. Tried moving that by hand. It weighs a ton now that it's all the ribs are filled with clay. So that was a major snafu, but we got it going now. This is so wet, we're just gonna try to rough grade it and let it dry. Now that whole road's gonna be dry and the water's all gonna come right down into the pipe. All right, I'm gonna get a hand shovel and I'm gonna break the dam right there in between them two posts, and that water's gonna come right down into the pipe, what's left of it. Oh, sloppy mess. I'll probably have them run the bucket, scrape this road here. All right, well, if this ain't too hard of compaction, I'm gonna take a few shovel scoops out and I'm gonna release all that water and we'll see how Phil did here on this grade, but it looks pretty good. Progress, big progress today. All right, I gotta dig it out a little more. We're flowing. We got one little bitty low spot here. We'll fix that on final grade and it's gonna work its way all the way down there. Let me dig that out a little deeper. All right, here we go. Just like I said, it's gonna fill that little dip. Now it's making its way down. We did all this by eyeball, so it turned out pretty good. If I'd have had my ditch bucket here, I could have made a nice, nicer looking ditch, but all I got is 3 broken teeth and 1 long tooth. So I used the bottom of it, but I was never finished with this. And then the other, Curtis and Phil started working on it because they needed something to do. So progress. We'll clean it up yet, but it looks beautiful. Why does that look like the lock right there? Because it is. Oh, look, there's a spot right here that needs to be shoveled. Oh. Let me go cut that one down. Man, these red wasps are everywhere already. All right, I opened up a little bit. We're parking the machines and getting out of here for today. Another good day. April what? 10th. Hope to see you on the next one.